I want to talk about Coeur d'Alene, Idaho right now. As you know, I moved from Spokane to Albuquerque. I lived in Spokane all my life, right next to Coeur d'Alene. And one of the reasons why I did leave is because, well, the politics there are just getting a little bit crazy. For those of you who have not yet heard, 20-year-old Wes Roelly started a fire, waited for the fire department, and when they rolled up, he opened fire at them. This was a very planned event, and I have concerns about what is going on really behind the scenes, because this is North Idaho. You probably saw a press briefing that was held by this guy, Sheriff Bob Norris, but what you may not realize is this guy is the very same guy who made the decision to pull a woman out of a town hall in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, removing her freedom of speech. What does that have to do with anything? Well, this is a sheriff who allows his political views to sway how he behaves in his position. What many people don't know who don't live in the Pacific Northwest is that a couple years ago, there was a lot of attacks against our power grids. They were trying to shoot them down. They were trying to use different types of weapons in order to take them out. One of them was founded to be for the purpose of stealing from this business next door to the power grid. But the rest of them, they can't figure out why. And here's where my troubled brain goes in today's political climate. Extremist groups in North Idaho are trying to take out our resources and our services in order to open people up to vulnerability. And if you do that, at some point, what's going to happen? They're going to declare martial law. That's what they want, because they are the martial law. The Patriot Front is very well known in other white supremacy groups in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't feel like Bob Norris has a vested interest to stop what they are doing. As a matter of fact, when Black Lives Matter movement was happening, he celebrated the fact that they were there to assist them in policing the area. Unfortunately, I don't have faith in Bob Norris coming out with all the information on this. I don't trust it. I watched as Black Lives Movement came in. We had a peaceful protest in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and Bob Norris was celebrating the fact that the Patriot movement was there to help them police the area. That's the movement that later drove in a U-Haul to go to the Coeur d'Alene Pride event to storm the area. For why? And I'm supposed to trust that Bob Norris, this guy, is going to work against them in putting the facts out. And why would I think it was Patriot Front? I don't know. I assume that because he's a young man who is time and time again taken advantage of by these groups and fed these little pieces in their mind. And he's growing up with this family that's MAGA. And that's easy for him to cross a line in his young mind from this jump to this jump. He was taken advantage of. I'm just going to make that assumption because this is what these groups would do all throughout my life. I would see happen, plucking young men off the streets and turning them into boys with shaved heads and horrible tattoos. I want to make this very clear here. I am making assumptions. I am making assumptions based on what I have witnessed and lived through in the 50 years that I lived in Spokane, Washington, and was surrounded by these people. And I hate making those assumptions. I hate thinking that our country is being taken over. But it's how I feel.